Good afternoon. I'm Yongqi from Tongji University. This is a right pronunciation, but to make the things a little bit easier, just call me Lu. And today I will introduce one of my design research project, and actually at the present there's an exhibition in Design Museum. The museum, the exhibition is about this long-term design research project, which I have already worked on for 4 years. Actually, today one of the themes we are talking about the design is changing, but actually we all know that actually design never stops changing. But sometimes the problem is different. 10 years ago, or as Julia said, that 40 years ago, I mean the problem of the world and the problem of design is different with today. But the one thing is the same, is that the design itself is changing all the times. But one of the big things at the present, I think that the design is becoming bigger. Especially, I'm from China, we have a different sense of size. But, but you know that even I'm a Chinese, I think that now the design today in China is become bigger. And my project is related to one big issue in China, which is urbanization. I think that you have already read tons of news about the urbanization of China and the problem of this urbanization. And of course, I mean, you know that sometimes, you know, the official news, which is on the table, and some of the social media, which is under the table, they have different opinions. But I don't want to talk too much about urbanization, and another issue for me is closely related to China's urbanization is rural development. And because this is just look like the Chinese traditional philosophy of yin and yang. So which means that the city and the rural in old China, we always think that this is a kind of a whole system. And if the whole system is in a healthy way, the yin and the yang, you should have lots of interaction. But unfortunately, at the present, the interaction between the city and the rural area is, I will say, is cut it. And as Tuli just says that lots of problem, actually, I think that it's related to the disconnection. And so if the city and the rural, they stop, they're not connected, then lots of problems can automatically happen. And at the present, if you go to the rural China, I think a few of you have the experience of rural China, but I will summarize the problem of this rural China as following. If we ask any Chinese people about what is your impression of rural China, and he will say that, okay, rural China is poor. There's no opportunities, no very bad education, and polluted environment, old people, no educated people, etc., etc. So this is the image of the rural area. But for me, in a designer perspective, I say that actually none of these characters, they are the real features of rural area. The problem is so serious, but in a designer's point of view, I think that where are the problems, there is need of design and new business. I think that here we have some professors and people from business school. I think that you know that where is opportunity for the new business. But what designer can do, what design can do. And as a designer and a design researcher, so 4 years ago in 2007, I started a project. At that time, I just have a kind of feeling. I feel that the design can do something in this bigger problem. But to be honest, at that time, I don't know how to start. I separate my studio to two parts. One is focused on the design consultancy, another is a focus on the research. Then we start to include the members of the studio, and then we start the exploration of the rural problems. So we find a research base which is very close to the city of Shanghai, Chongming Island, and then we go to the island and talk to the mayor. it's very important that you know that in China it's a kind of very top-down society, top-down country. Even we want to do something bottom-up, but we have to start get the permission from the top people. But the discussion is very successful, and I asked the mayor, says that I promise I will not take any money from this island. Everything is free. But the only thing I really want your support is that allowed us to do something, which means that to test some ideas and try to realize it. And then he said, of course, it's not bad. So let's try. Then we created that project. Which means that this is a project without the client and without the specific funding. So at the very beginning, we said that we are self-motivated. And of course, the key role of the key idea of our team is that we are thinking how to using design to promote the exchange, the interaction between the urban and the rural areas, including exchanges of people, resource, knowledge, capital, job opportunities, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is exactly as what Tuli said. It's a kind of designing the new relationship between urban and the rural area. So, of course, the roles of designer is changing. It's changing from the traditional form giver to a mediator and a strategic planner. And of course, we adapt this step-by-step strategy. First, we're seeking what kind of a promising the cases and resource in the rural area, and then we use design to identify it and improve it and connect it, enlarge it, and then to form a network. So all of these things for the local people think that this is something which is dying, but in a design perspective, this is a kind of the promising essence for their future, like the craftsmanship. And at the present, it's a very long tradition of rural China, but unfortunately, most of this craftsmanship and they are dying because the needs is they don't have needs. This is a big problem. Every people's everyday lives, they have to use this bamboo stuff. But now it's all of their tablewares, etc., they are imported from Wenzhou city, which is in south of Zhejiang province, which very, very cheap, but they kill all of this craftsmanships. But the idea is that if we can create a kind of a new market, a new business, then we can, then all of this traditional treasure, I would say that the heritage can be saved. And also this traditional, very traditional ways of making honey and the local food. And even, I mean, this is another very positive thing is that some people, white collar in the cities, they start to work in the rural area to start their new companies, entrepreneurs. So this gentleman, it's a new farmer, but it's educated, it's well educated. And before he worked for an international company in Shanghai, now he is start his business in Chongming Island, as well as Mr. Yan, and he run a big greenhouse base in the island, and it's quite successful, and he is producing organic food for the city. And this is a picture is that we organized an event in the island 2 years ago, and we announced the news in the internet, and then this group of gentlemen, the old gentlemen, they are retired, and they ride bicycle from city of Shanghai to our events, and we don't know who they are. And then we said, but it encouraged us a lot because which means that the needs is there, And then we use a design, we have made lots of storyboards to think about how to connect all of this resource and the possibilities using design. And for instance, this is a workshop we organized on the rural kitchen and tried to see what is the possible business opportunity and the traditional ways of cooking. And what is advantage of traditional ways of cooking? And at the present, such kind of traditional ways of cooking in the rural China is disappearing. And the westernized the kitchen is become mainstream. And we try to think about what can be the different ways of agriculture. And then also create the connection is super important, to create the business between the urban and the rural areas. And of course, I mean, the DESIS network is that we think that because the problem, urban and rural, not only existed in China, but also in other areas, and the experience we get from the other areas can also benefit, people can benefit from the experience in the other areas. So this is the reason that the DESIS network become a very important platform for knowledge exchange. And also, sometimes, you know, people from the different culture always, they are more sharp than the local community. And business and branding strategy play a key role. And this is a art lab workshop we made, I think 2 years ago during the World Expo of Shanghai. And the key mission is that to design the new business for the urban and rural exchange. And finally, 2 years ago, I think that we make a kind of a conclusion is that we try to promote a network of innovation hubs in rural China, and based on a kind of acupuncture design approach, so which means that if we can connect the acupoints inside in a system, then we can have a holistic impact to the society. And this innovation hub is a kind of a multi-function. It's a kind of it's a community center, and it's entrepreneur incubator, and it's educator base, and craftsmanship workshop, and knowledge base, etc., etc. So this is the main features of the harbors, and the idea is that if we can use this physical platform as a kind of hot spot to encourage, especially the entrepreneurships for the citizens, then it will greatly change the situation of relationship between urban and rural. And the idea is that we not only have a physical hub, but also we have a virtual hub. We're designing a virtual hub, and the virtual hub is very much related to the internet and Internet of Things. So the mobile technology play a very important role. So how to mobilize and connect the resources for innovation. For instance, creative people, existing environment, business opportunities, real cases, etc., etc. So we have done a lot of research, and for instance, this is one of the projects supported by Nokia, which is a developer kind of a mobile services for the rural-urban communities. And this is the first physical hub in Chongming Island, and hopefully we can build it this year. And we develop many scenarios, for instance, community-based ecotourism, creative agriculture, new community center, and virtual plot renting, and the food distribution system, and food delivery, natural awareness, and family weekend, etc., etc. And also our team is trying to change the school, a sustainable school designed by my studio in Chongqing province to become a second hub in Middle China. And the school is designed, entrance of the school was designed as a community center, and we want to change this community center as an innovation hub. And then all of these hubs are promoted by this DESIS network. If, let's say that within 5 years, if we can promote 100 such kind of innovation hub in rural China, then I think that it will become a network. But the interesting thing is that for the designers and for us, for design educators, I mean, this provides a very unique experience. And for instance, one of the subtopics is about designing agriculture and food. We design, we have a real field in the island, on the island, and we design, for instance, this is the design the package of the local food. And we also have our experience to design a field, and our community learn a lot from the farmers. And I think that such kind of experience is not that related to the scientific. It's not that related to scientific contribution, but I think it's very important that when we talk about the exchange link the urban and rural. First, I think that in our spirit, we have to try to taste. We have to go outside of the campus and try to have the real interaction with the people. So all this is a very traditional ways of the agriculture-related labor. And also we produce our rice, and we also sell our rice in the internet. So in China, if you access to Taobao, you can buy our rice. But again, I would say that this is not that related to the scientific academic game. But anyways, this is add lots of experience to help us to understand what is the China. Because in order to do that, we have to work together with farmers and have lots of interaction with the rural community. And also through such kind of interaction, and as a result, actually, we redefine the community of we redefine the rural community, because more and more people from the city, they move to the to the village, and they become a member or semi-member of the community. And then the content of the community itself is also changed. And this project, we involve lots of great support from the companies, universities, and in different ways. And I think that if you want to get more information about that project, you can visit the website, and also you can go to the museum to take a look. I think that in the museum, we try to express this idea in a clear way. I think, I don't know that if for some of you have been there, I don't know that if what presented in the Design Museum is clear enough or not. Thank you very much. Yeah.